The rumor mill is heating up, and I just can't wait for Pokemon Day, just a few weeks away. We've got brand new rumors talking about Pokemon Legends ZA. Let's break it down. Big shout outs to the Hidden Power podcast for throwing this one up on Twitter. Got a lot of traction, a lot of people talking. I figure we should weigh in and give our thoughts and opinions, as this could give us some insight into what's going down on Pokemon Day for Pokemon Legends ZA. And y'all know I love me some Mega Evolution, so let's dive in. Here's some info about Legends ZA. Starting off, the layout of Lumiose City is still quite vast in size and doesn't look too different from modern Lumiose. Lumiose will be split up into 4 areas, being Northern, Southern, Eastern, and Western Lumiose, with 4 smaller areas where Pokemon can be found and where gym leaders reside, each being made for different environments of Pokemon and their respective gyms. So breaking the map out into different parts, which is what we saw in Legends Arceus, you kind of went from piece to piece. There was a good amount of world to explore. It was open world, but only to some extent. I'm not thinking that Lumiose is going to be quite that big, but it's interesting that the next point says you can temporarily travel outside of Lumiose to find some Pokemon unavailable in Lumiose, similarly to that of the old Safari zones, but the areas are much smaller. So there's a chance that you can kind of have these small routes where you can go. They're pretty basic. They're like conservation type areas where you can find different Pokemon that maybe you wouldn't be able to find in the actual city itself. This seems pretty cool, pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy there. I do hope we see some sort of gym leader mechanic, though. I'm a big fan of just kind of the traditional gym leaders, and I think it'd be sick to have them, especially if there's like tie-ins to the gym leaders that were in Kalos in the first place from Pokemon X and Y. Before I get into who the villain of this game might be, I gotta tell you about the game that I'm working on, Elestrals. For those who don't know, I've spent the last 3 years of my life putting my heart and soul into my passion project that takes all my love of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic and blends them all in together into an incredible ball of awesomeness and fun, and it has been an incredible ride. We are in hundreds of stores. It is going nuts, and I wanted to give the aDrive Army, my homies, an opportunity to get involved. So we're doing a 24-hour deal where you can get an exclusive discount code from this video alone. You can use code aDrive to get $10 off your purchase of $50 or more. We do ship globally. You guys can head to shopelestrals.com and check it out. I recommend picking up our brand new set, Moonrise, which just released. The Posthumous starter deck is phenomenal. It's loaded with staple cards, and we have an amazing community that'll get you onboarded, teach you the game, and our free-to-play Clash client is coming out in just a few months. It is the perfect time to get involved with Elestrals, and I hope you guys will give it a shot. So use code aDrive. This coupon is only available for 24 hours after this video goes up, so don't miss out on it. $10 off your order. Get a starter deck today, and let's dive into the Pokemon. All right, so it goes on to say that the playable characters are named Brooke and Charlie. I've never paid much mind to this, but that's some interesting facts here. And then AZ. AZ is a twist villain to the story, but mostly acts as a background character until the change. Now, we obviously know AZ was kind of the component of the Pokemon War that took place. He ends up kind of showing up in a little bit of a storyline there. We hear about his Floette and kind of some of the things that happened there with Yveltal and Xerneas, but it would be really interesting to dive into his storyline in deeper kind of fashion to see what he's all about and get a chance to battle him again, because obviously we battled him once, but it would be cool to battle him somehow in this story and maybe even stop him. Very, very interesting. The professor of this game is Professor Ignitia, who is an ancestor of Lysander. So interesting stuff there. We've obviously had our different professors. Maybe we'll see Sycamore or some relation to Sycamore here. But then it goes on to kind of cover a lot of what Legends Arceus did of like having different ancestors. We've got Corden, Croix, and Canel as the gym leaders, which are ancestors of Silent Crest and Chili. So not much to say there. Our original gym leaders, I feel like that would make sense for them to kind of have ancestors, obviously, and a tie-in to Unova. We've talked a lot about Unova on the channel as of late, and this is an interesting one because there was another a data mine leak that came out of Pokemon Home that I think indicated from these leakers that the first Pokemon on the Pokedex was Chespin, and some people thought that that might have been like a placeholder, but then it goes on to say that the starters stay Chespin, Fennekin, and Froakie, which, by the way, I don't think is that outside of the realm of possibilities if what this rumor says is what happens, because it goes on to say, but you are then gifted a second starter, much like the ones given to Sycamore, but the starters are Snivy, Torchic, and Piplup, with Snivy and Piplup gaining Mega Evolutions. Now, here's the thing. I do think that there's a really good chance that there's a special set of starters. We have the precedent with Legends Arceus, but I also think there's a chance that they keep the X and Y starters here, and then they do that second starter like they did in the first game, and they do exactly this: Snivy, Torchic, Piplup. I don't know if I agree that that's the trio, but it's very interesting. And then the concept of giving Snivy and Piplup Mega Evolutions could be so sick, because I know a lot of people would love to see Serperior become Dragon type. I know Empoleon has a lot of potential for a Mega Evolution. A lot of really cool stuff there. And here's the stuff that gets me juiced up. 25 Pokemon gain brand new Mega Evolutions. I'm gonna be real, that sounds too good to be true. Like, I have a really hard time believing that they're gonna have 25 new Megas, but simultaneously, I say that, then I think about the fact that if Megas are coming back in full force, which we know they are, and they want to put Megas in Unova and have that be the focus there for a Gen 5 remake game, I could see a lot of potential here. So anyway, Raichu, Raichu is an interesting one. Wigglytuff, Poliwrath, Jinx, Dragonite, baby. Ledian needs that Mega, you already know it. Azu, Politoed, Jumpluff, Ludicolo, Flygon, of course, Torterra, Infernape, Empoleon, Carnivine, Licky, Porygon Z, Superior, Emboar, Samurott, Scolipede, Gothitelle, Chestnut, Delphox, and Greninja. Just the whole starter gauntlet getting Mega Evolutions, which sounds crazy, but it's not that crazy, man. It's not that crazy. The only thing that has me a little, I feel like Superior, Emboar, Samurott, maybe if those are going to be the starters in like a Gen 5 remake, I feel like you wouldn't highlight them in this game, but I don't know. That would be the only like hang up there. But obviously, if you tell me we're just getting a bunch of Megas, I'm going to be pumped about it. Yveltal and Xerneas get unique forms instead of Mega Evolutions called Complete Cycle Forms, awakened by AZ in a boss fight similar to the battle against Volo. So, interesting. Obviously, we've seen Pokemon do this a handful of times of kind of giving Pokemon different forms or like making their legendaries a little bit different. So it wouldn't be too crazy to think about how we could potentially get, you know, a different form instead of a Mega Evolution for them. Instead of it evolving based on a stone, Mega evolves another way. We've seen that already through other Pokemon. And then it says there's a new Reggie. Surprise! That is a ghost type that is kind of unsettling at first glance. It appears to be a Frankenstein's monster. So that's an interesting concept. A new Reggie. Obviously, we had 2 new Reggies come into the game with Regieleki and Regidrago. So obviously, there's always a chance that a new Reggie can come. And then it says a regional variant of Litwick that is Fairy and Fire. That's an Incense Lantern. That feels very inspired. I think that's a really cool idea. It gives me very much so the Sinistea vibes, how they kind of made a convergent form of that, or a regional form. A very cool concept. I would be very into that. A regional form of the Tangela line that's bundled wires, that's electric. That's 100% been done in a fan game. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that one of the Pokemon fan games we played along the journey here, there was a Tangela that was electric wires. So that is very fan gamey, but it's a great idea. I mean, I could totally see it happening. And then a regional fake for Farfetch named Farfenced. That's a fencer. That sounds so cool. I'm a big Farfetch guy. You know, it's an okay Pokemon, but it's a funny little guy. I love all these ideas. I hope this is real. I mean, I would be all over this if this was real. All these Mega Evolutions, Flygon with the Redemption arc. Give me a Mega Ledian. I've been asking for this for forever. That's a great design, by the way. That's all I got, man. That's the rumor. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comment section below. And take advantage of this deal. Only 24 hours to save $10. Shop at Elestrals.com. Use code aDrive. $50 or more. It'll take it right off your cart. Our game has been amazing, and I would love to have you be a part of our community. I put my heart and soul into it. Our Moonrise set is our best set yet. Check out the link in the description below, and I'll see you guys soon.